Welcome to Wasatch Weekends. I'm your host, Ben Roof. We've got a great show in store for you today, but first, a little bit of local news. Earlier this week, several people announced their candidacy for Park City City Council. And if you would like to be one of those people, today you have the opportunity to head over to Park City Hall and announce your candidacy between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. The deadline is closing, so you better get on that if that's something that you hope to do. Now, in today's show, first we've got Maddie Evans heading over to speak to the organizers at Craft Lake City, who are organizing a DUI craft fair later this summer. But first, let's take a look at today's local weather.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Welcome back to the show. Recently, Maddie spoke to Angela Brown, one of the organizers of Craft Lake City, who just announced their full lineup for the upcoming DUI craft fair. Let's go take a listen to what they have to say.
Something we all get to enjoy is the Craft Lake City DIY Festival, and we're here with the director, the executive director, Angela H. Brown. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I just love PCTV. It's an honor to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you here, and especially because this is the 15th annual, and so you guys make it bigger and better each and every year. You do something so special, and for people who have not yet attended Craft Lake City, can you give us some more information about what it goes on and all of the fun that's to be had there?
Yes, so as you mentioned, this is a very special year for us because this is our 15th year. So we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our mission is essentially to elevate, promote, and inspire local artisans through science, technology, and art. And one of the biggest ways that we really execute this mission is through this annual DIY festival. And as I mentioned, this is our biggest year yet. It's a celebration of all 15 years. It's going to happen the second weekend of August, which is August 11th. 12th and 13th down at the Utah State Fair Park.
Now, if people want to buy tickets to attend the incredible festival, where can they go to find the tickets?
Yes, so we have tickets for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We are doing a VIP ticket, which is only good for Friday night. And this VIP ticket is so cool. It's giving you access to our headliners, to celebrate our big and, 15 milestone. We're bringing some national acts. And so you can get like front row seats to see them, as well as access to the Utah's own VIP area, which has sampling from a bunch of different local craft foodies and craft makers. And you actually get to meet the people who are making these really great goods. And those tickets will be on sale at craftlakecity.com. So you can just go to our website and purchase them there, or 24tix.com.
Which is incredible because it is a 3-day festival filled with fun, and I don't know who doesn't love art, music, science, and technology. You're bringing both the right and left brain thinkers together in this really unique way.
Thank you so much. And I'm so glad that you brought up the science and technology component, because that is something that's really unique about our event is we have all of the local artisans, over 300 of them in one space, as well as our Google Fiber STEM building, which has all the local makers that are, using kind of the scientific method to create really fun and engaging activities for people of all ages. We also do have a kids area as well for those of you that are looking to bring their families to an engaging area. And then we have local food trucks and local businesses that are serving food too.
Which is so nice because you can make this an all-day activity where you can go and explore each and every component. And now let's talk more about this kids area because it's something that's really unique and it gives these kids such a wonderful opportunity to show their early onset entrepreneurship.
It's true. And that is on, I think you're talking about Kid Row, which happens on Saturday, which is so fun. And this is, again, a really unique aspect about our festival. And that's where we take makers 18 and under and give them the opportunity to sell their handmade wares and really become entrepreneurs and learn all those skills that go with selling your own creations. And that happens on Saturday, which is August 12th, from noon until 4 p.m. So if you want to go support those youth entrepreneurs, make sure that you show up on Saturday, August 12th between noon and 4 p.m.
Which is such a great way to just show your support and also introduce your kids to the endless possibility of curiosity and entrepreneurship, because it definitely sparks that trigger in some kids' minds that they can go, wow, I could do this and I could create something just as well as this person could, or I could learn to create something, which then gives the kids an opportunity to learn that new skill. Now, as people are hearing about this, they're getting excited for it. You guys have a lot of vendors, so let's talk about what people can expect from all the vendors.
Oh, yes. You can expect anything from, time-honored craft techniques like crochet or tatting, all the way up to like illustration. And then, of course, ceramics, things like that. But, the designs that these makers are creating using these time-honored techniques are definitely not your grandma's designs. These are really fun, contemporary, very fun and unique designs that, stuff that you can, like really functional art that you can use and in your house, or beautiful art that you can hang on your walls. And it's all for an affordable price. And then best of yet, you really get that satisfaction of knowing that you're supporting local and you're helping to empower these local artisans to keep creating, keep making, and to keep their local businesses afloat.
Which I think is one of the most important parts, and especially about our wonderful community. We like to stand together, we like to show support for our artists, and we like to help build this community. Now, you guys do such a good job at bringing so many different walks of life to your festival for people to enjoy. And so let's talk about what originally started the Craft Lake City DIY Festival.
Yes. So, I originally started the Craft Lake City DIY Festival 15 years ago because I really saw an opportunity for us to bring all of these incredible local makers and creators together in one area, not only for them to network and get to know each other, but also so our community could realize that we have this talent here. I think a lot of times we kind of look towards major cities as kind of being these like bastions for creative culture, when really we have that here in our own backyard. It's just about kind of getting individuals together and giving people the opportunity to really showcase their talent. And then also giving the community members the opportunity to come and support them and be educated about, these individuals that are part of our community that are really making it a fun place to live through their creations.
Now, all of the exhibits are filled this year since it's right around the corner, but if people are interested in maybe displaying one of their beautiful crafts next year, when do open enrollments for the 2024 and the 16th year of Craft Lake City open?
That is such a great question. We actually open applications in January. So mark your calendars for January 2024. And they run all the way through April. And then we announce kind of end of April, early May. So that's the timeline. We also do have a holiday market up in Ogden that we started around 5 years ago. And those applications will actually be opening really soon, the first week of August, and those will run until mid-September. So that's a smaller show. It's up at the Ogden Union Events Train Depot, that historic building up there. And that's a lot of fun too. But the big event, those applications open in January.
For people to participate in the fun, show their work, show their passions, and show their love. Now, if you had to pick one thing that you're most excited for as we are approaching the 15th year, what is it?
Oh, it is so hard to answer that question. I just adore every single aspect about the festival. But if I had to choose one specific area, I am so excited about all of the really great performers that we have. We have 2 stages booked all day long, all 3 days with local performers. And then again, we have national headliners on Friday and Saturday. So you definitely want to come down, plan to spend the day, enjoy some of the wonderful food from local food vendors, watch some great entertainment, browse in the Science and Technology building and have some fun interactive exhibits there, and then take home some local art.
There's no better way than celebrating our community with the local art and the local goods. That's something that is so unique and so special. And you can catch a lot of these incredible vendors at some of our local farmers markets that we have throughout the summer. But this is a great way to see them all showcased in one area.
It's so true. And, we also have a lot of first time vendors. We hear that all the time that, people that came to the festival were so inspired by what they saw that they wanted to be part of it. And so they submitted an application the next year and got in, and that was the start of their business plan. So that's something that's also really unique. Like you mentioned, we have a lot of like really popular established makers that are at a lot of the other local markets, but then paired with people that you've never seen before, that this is their very, very first time. And it's so fun to have a conversation with one of those new makers that's never ever showed their work before, and just see, just see that empowerment, just see people supporting them. That is one of the reasons why I do what I do, is just I love seeing people just, become entrepreneurs and be supported by our community.
Angela, we are so excited for Craft Lake City to take place. Now, one more time, if people are interested in buying tickets to any or all of the days, where can they find the information online?
Yes. So you can purchase tickets to the Craft Lake City DIY Festival at craftlakecity.com or 24tix.com.
Angela, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and really thank you for giving all of these wonderful entrepreneurs, artists, and makers an opportunity to showcase their work. It is an exquisite opportunity, and it's really inspiring, and it shows the love and support that our wonderful community has.
Oh, thank you. And thank you so much for the work that you do with your show. And it's just such a pleasure to be here.
It is such a pleasure to chat with you, and I love empowered women, empowering other people to do what they love and show their passions. And so I appreciate you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Thank you.
Make sure that you check out the Craft Lake City DIY Festival, as they are celebrating 15 years, and you're not going to want to miss it. They make it bigger and better each and every year, and there's going to be some really cool things taking place this year, so mark your calendars for August. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
We're going to move into our small town stories for today, presented by the Park City Chamber. Right now, we are joined by Monty Coates of the Southwestern Expressions and Pine. Monty, thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure, thank you for having me.
Could you tell us a little bit about what you do? I know you have a couple of businesses that have been here for a very long time. Can you just explain to us what you do?
We're small mom and pop stores. We're located on Main Street. Pine is located at 323 Main Street. It's been there for about 10 years. I think we opened it in 1987. Pine kind of has a fun, eclectic vibe to it. My wife generally runs that store. Across the street at 312 Main Street, a little bigger store. It has 2 floors. Is Southwestern Expressions. We opened that one in 1987, so it'll be our 35th year in September. And we do art, gifts, jewelry, kind of home decor, all with kind of a mountain eclectic vibe, I guess. When we opened in the 80s, we were Indian arts and crafts only, Native American arts and crafts, hence the Southwestern name. But we evolved a little bit from that, and kind of, I think, to keep it interesting for us, we decided we would change a little bit and mix it up. So we've evolved a little bit from that, although we do still carry some Native American jewelry, and we really like carrying their products. Yeah.
That is absolutely fascinating. I mean, 35 years to be having 2 small, mom and pop shops is an unbelievable feat. What are some of the things that have changed in your life specifically to owning a business from 35 years ago to right now in 2022?
Business in Park City has obviously grown. Well, in some ways it's harder, in some ways it's easier. The expenses are definitely much higher than they were 35 years ago. Our monthly, we don't own our building, we lease our buildings, so our rents are obviously much higher than they were. Payroll is much higher than it was. But also there's more business than there was. When we first opened, the summers were extremely quiet. We'd get just a little flurry of business about midsummer. Falls were dead, spring was dead, and we really tried to get interest in people coming to town, and hence that I've always felt it was important to partner with the Park City Chamber of Commerce to be part of that, and because I felt that they were our best avenue to try to bring people to town, and it's gotten easier in that respect, that there's now summers are almost as equal as to winters as far as business, and so there's always challenges, but it's fun. I always tell people that retail is more of a marathon than a sprint. You got to just kind of hang in there for the long haul. But we really enjoy what we do.
How have you been able to kind of make that transition from, once upon a time it was, the winters were kind of the busiest time of the year,
right,
to now you're able to be kind of busy 365?
Yeah, well, like I say, it's you just kind of roll with the punches, and I think being a small shop, small mom and pop, where we're there every day, in some ways it's a lot easier because we work in the stores. We know we can kind of evolve as things change product mix as things sell, and just kind of keep our ear to the ground, I guess. So we kind of have a feel for how business is going. One thing the Chamber's always been great about is kind of predicting lodging for us, and so that kind of helps small businesses really kind of get an idea how busy we're going to be. So that's always a good feature for that too.
You have been involved in the community with the Chamber and things like that. Could you tell us a little bit about your experience with that?
Yeah, I think the Chamber of Commerce is a great aspect to our community. Also, the Downtown Business Alliance, the Historic Park City Alliance, are a great benefit to the downtown businesses. I've served on both of those boards over the years. I've served on as the chairman of the Chamber at one point, and I've also served on the Restaurant Tax Grant Committee years ago. I think that's a great attribute to our community that helps fund nonprofit events and things in the community. So I've always felt that those were great to help the community and help things that happen in the community. I've also been involved a little bit with helping to revive the Autumn Aloft Bloom Festival. I serve on the committee that helps kind of steer that, and I really enjoy that. It's a lot of fun, and I think it was one of those things that when it was here in the 80s and then it went away, and then when we kept thinking, gosh, why isn't this here? So I spoke with other people in the community and said, yeah, it'd be great if we could bring that back. So I worked with some other people in the community, and we helped revive that a little bit. So.
What would you say between, your time with Park City Chamber, your involvement with the community, as well as owning these 2 retail stores, what would you say is the highlight? What is the thing that keeps you going every single day?
Actually, I think we just live in a nice place. It's fun. What brought us here was the same thing that brings everybody else here. The beautiful mountains. I was looking at the picture behind you here. It's just such a beautiful place, and I think our customers are fun too. They come here. They're in a good mood. They're having fun. My wife and I always joke that we don't sell anything that anybody needs. We're not taking their last dollar. People are here to have fun. They're in a good mood. They're having a great time, and they're fun to converse with, and so we enjoy that. We enjoy our customers.
You've probably been able to build kind of a good relationship with the entire community. I would assume that a lot of people are regulars that come to your store that know who you are and you've dealt with for a long time.
There's a lot of great people in the community. A lot of people here that are second homeowners that come in that we see once a year or something like that, and it's always fun to talk with them again and say hi. And sometimes I forget names, but I always try to remember faces. It was kind of hard. We got to where I knew a lot of people, and especially by sight, and I recognized their face. And then with the COVID, where we wore masks for 2 years, or for a year there. I almost forgot faces. I'm starting to kind of remember people again now that they come in without a mask on. It's like, oh, there you are. Hi, how are you? So it's kind of fun.
What is your favorite season to be in the shop? I'm sure the winters are very busy with maybe the ski town people, but like you said, you're busy all year round. What is maybe your favorite time of the year here in Park City?
Fall. I think the falls are beautiful. The changing season and the little Christmas in the air. I think fall's my favorite season. And I think it's very busy for us. At the stores are a lot of work in the fall because we're getting ready to be busy for the ski season.
Right.
So it's always a lot of work, just kind of getting ready to be busy. But we really enjoy the falls. I love the falls here.
How busy is the store during maybe a Sundance week or something like that?
Sundance is kind of a strange vibe. It's a strange dynamic. In the bar business and the restaurant business, I think some of those people, it's just overwhelming for them. It just wears them out. But for us, it's not dramatically different than a ski week, because it's just a little different customer base. I think a little different mix, and the people are here for a different reasons. So Sundance is busy for us, but it's not busier than a traditional ski week for us. But it's still fun. The people are fun. It's kind of Sundance is always kind of fun to see the customer base change from we have our typical dynamic or demographic for a customer that comes in the wintertime, and then during Sundance that demographic just changes dramatically. It skews much younger, and they're here for have a different vibe. The town really changes, so it's always kind of fun to watch that happen.
Monty, what would you say is the #1 thing that you've learned, the most valuable lesson of owning a business and throughout your entire career?
Yeah, I think just kind of what I said earlier. It's really a marathon. You really got to kind of pace yourself, and in the good times you try to sock away a little something because there's going to be we're going to pay for that later on. There's going to be a roll, and over the years when we've been there, I don't know, we've seen 3 or 4 downturns in the economy, and so you always just try to make sure you can ride those out a little bit. And but other than that, it's fun being a small business owner, and I know it's getting harder, and Park City's kind of a unique place. We have a eclectic mix of shops and restaurants and on the street, and there's not many places like that left in the country where you get the mom and pop feel, the small shops, and the restaurants owned by where maybe the owner is the chef in the back or something like that. I think that unique ownership aspect of a small town like this creates diverse and unique aspects to it, because you really, whether it's a restaurant or a retailer, you get the flavor or the taste of the owner. And so as opposed to a national chain or something where it's basically a formula and you can get it online or anywhere else, in a small town you get that, whether it's a restaurant or a retailer, you get that flavor of the ownership, and it creates a unique vibe. And so I think we're really lucky to be here, and Park City's a unique place.
Well, Monty, the entire community is lucky to have you as well. Thank you so much for joining us. And where can people come to your stores? I just want to make sure that we reiterate that.
Yes, 312 Main Street is Southwestern Expressions, and 323 Main Street is Pine. And we would love to see folks come in.
Well, thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it. We will be right back here in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. And just a reminder about that last opportunity to announce your candidacy for City Council if you're interested. But I want to thank all of our guests, and just to let you know, we've got our full 1-hour episode tomorrow where we've got some fantastic breakfast recipes for you. So I hope you'll catch us then. But until next time, I'm Ben Roof, and this is Wasatch Weekends.